My name is Rachel Lynn, and at 39, I was learning that family support isn't always reciprocal. Back in 2019, when Ethan's startup imploded and they were suddenly unemployed with 2 toddlers, I took them in. I was a software developer with a solid income and had just bought a 2-bedroom condo in Seattle. It will only be for 6 months, Ethan had said. That turned into half a decade. Now, as I lay in the hospital with my savings depleted by multiple procedures, I was met with indifference. The twins need new phones. I repeated, stunned. Jenna shrugged. Don't be so dramatic. You've always been the smart one. You'll figure it out. And Ethan has something big in the works again, she added. Right. Another business venture. I had lost count of how many of them had failed. You should have planned better, Jenna said, taking a selfie before glancing at her watch. Anyway, I have to go. The contractor is coming to look at the kitchen. We're thinking of opening up the space a bit. My stomach churned, and not from the surgery. This kitchen is ancient, Jenna had scoffed. The decorator says it's ruining our whole social media vibe. I winced as I tried to sit up, a flash of pain shooting through my abdomen. Jenna, you can't renovate my condo without permission. You don't even pay rent. She gave me a crooked, all too casual smile. Yeah, we'll talk about that when you're feeling better. Get some rest, Rach. With that, she floated out of the hospital room, leaving behind a cloud of citrus perfume and a sense of rising dread. That evening, my best friend Naomi came by. Unlike Jenna, she brought homemade ramen and genuine concern instead of condescension. When I told her about Jenna's renovation plans, her expression shifted from shock to suspicious. Rachel, something's not right, Naomi said, pulling out her tablet. As a real estate lawyer, she had access to things I didn't. Have you checked your property records lately? I blinked. No, why would I? The condo has been mine for 14 years. Her fingers moved quickly across the screen, her eyes narrowing. When was the last time you saw your deed? I hesitated. It was in my filing cabinet, in the home office. My voice trailed off. The same home office that Jenna's eldest had converted into a makeshift bedroom. The same cabinet I hadn't touched in months because the twins had turned the room into a study nook. Naomi turned her screen to me. My blood ran cold. It was my condo, only the ownership had changed. A transfer had been filed 3 months ago, right around the time I first got sick. Zet, that can't be right, I whispered. I never signed anything. Are you sure? Naomi asked gently. My mind raced. Jenna, handing me papers to sign, real quick, always smiling, always in a hurry. I looked at Naomi. She tricked me. Naomi nodded. We're bringing in Marcus from the fraud department, but quietly. If this is what I think it is, we need to be careful. And for the first time in weeks, I felt something stronger than fear. Resolve. Maybe it was the medication, or maybe it was that strange clarity that comes when you finally rip the mask off years of manipulation. Tell me what to do, I said softly. Over the next few days, as I recovered in the hospital, Naomi and Marcus built a case. They discovered a series of shady documents, all conveniently filed during the peaks of my medical crises. Jenna had clearly been planning this for months. Maybe longer. The signatures are similar, Marcus explained during a visit, but there are clear inconsistencies, slanted letters, odd spacing. This isn't you. He tapped a line in one of the PDFs, and this notary stamp? Belongs to someone whose license was revoked 6 months ago. Sloppy work. They didn't think you'd ever check. I thought of Jenna's grin when she mentioned the remodel. The way she dismissed my questions as if I were a nuisance, not the owner. She thought I was too nice. Too trusting. Too broken to fight back. What's next? I asked. Naomi leaned forward, her eyes glinting. We document everything. Unauthorized modifications, forged signatures, any strange conversations. When you're stronger, we make our move. I glanced at the stack of hospital bills on the tray. And in the meantime? Naomi gave me a sly smile. We let them think they've won. I was discharged a week later, thanks to an installment plan I had scraped together. Jenna didn't offer to pick me up. She was too busy commanding her decorator. Naomi drove me back, but the sight that greeted us made my chest tighten. My once pristine craftsman condo looked like a construction site. Lumber, insulation, and tile samples were everywhere. Through the window, I saw workers tearing out the old cabinets I had restored by hand. Jenna stood in the driveway, directing like a reality show host. "Oh, you're back," she chirped. "Perfect timing. We're doing a full kitchen gut. Major social media potential." I leaned on Naomi's arm, partly from fatigue, partly to stop myself from lunging at her. "Jenna, this is my home. You can't." "Actually," she interrupted, syrupy sweet, "it's our home now. Don't you remember? You signed it over to us, a generous gift, after all we've been through." "Really, Rachel," she added, "the meds must be clouding your memory." Her husband Ethan appeared at the door, silent as always. "And since this is our house now," she continued, "we think it's best if you recover somewhere else. All this noise can't be good for your health. Naomi has room, right?" I felt Naomi tense beside me. I squeezed her arm. "Not yet." "Of course," I mumbled. "Just let me get a few things from my room." "Oh, we moved your things to the garage," Jenna said breezily. "Didn't want the construction dust ruining your stuff." I smiled through gritted teeth. So thoughtful. "Just my medication and a change of clothes for now." A worker came out with 2 boxes and my medication bag. Jenna was already back to fabric swatches and tile backsplashes. Naomi and I drove off in silence until finally, I let the tears fall. But not from despair. From clarity. From fire. "They really think they've won," I whispered. Naomi grinned. "They don't know Marcus has filed for an injunction, or that you installed hidden cameras months ago." I turned to her, a small smile creeping onto my face. "Didn't tell anyone. Thought I was being paranoid. Turns out, I wasn't being paranoid enough." Naomi's grin widened. "You were being smart. You trusted your gut, even when your heart kept giving chances." As we pulled into her driveway, I thought of Jenna's smug confidence, her conviction that I would stay quiet, as always. "How soon do we move?" I asked. Naomi checked the mirror, her voice calm. "Marcus is fast-tracking the injunction. We have enough to move soon, but let them keep renovating. Every dollar they invest without a legal foundation only strengthens your case." I nodded. For years, I had let things slide in the name of peace. Not this time. This time, I wouldn't panic. I wouldn't beg. I would wait, watch, and when the moment was right, I would take back everything they had tried to steal. "They think I'm weak," I murmured, staring out the window as Naomi's car passed rows of cozy Seattle homes. "They think because I've always been the nice one, I'll let this slide too." Naomi parked in her driveway and cut the engine. "Then they never really knew you," she said. "The real you, the woman who fought her way through engineering school, restored a 100-year-old house by hand, and built a career while they played family with your property." She was right. Somewhere along the way, I had allowed Jenna's version of me, the yes woman, the peacemaker, the doormat, to become the truth. But not anymore. "Rest up," Naomi said, helping me into the house. "You're going to need your strength for what's coming." I settled into her guest room, surrounded by the 2 boxes I had managed to salvage from my own home. That night, my phone buzzed with a text from Jenna. "Stern, the decorator thinks we should turn your old room into a home gym. The kids need a place for the winter. Hope you're recovering well, Stern." I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my laptop and logged into the hidden camera feed. There she was, Jenna, parading the decorator through my house, calling out changes as if it were her kingdom. "We'll need all new appliances," she said. "Maybe we'll knock this wall down too." The old Rachel had such dated taste. She actually rolled her eyes when she said my name. I closed the laptop and breathed slowly. They thought they had won, thought their fraud had bought them my silence. But oh, they had no idea what was coming. 2 weeks passed. From Naomi's guest room, I recovered and I watched. Every day, there was a new delivery. High-end stoves, marble countertops, voice-activated lighting. All purchased with money from a fraudulent home equity loan taken out in my name. They've burned through over $150,000 already, Marcus reported during one of our evening meetings. The paperwork is a mess. Half the forms are unsigned or contradictory. They were in a hurry, they were sloppy. Naomi laid more documents on the dining table, which was now our makeshift war room. Their contractor isn't licensed for structural work, she added. And they never pulled permits for the wall they knocked down. I sipped my coffee, my energy returning. Do we have enough? Marcos nodded. Between the forged signatures, the revoked notary, and the hidden camera footage, yes. We could file tomorrow. But. Naomi grinned. Let's let them dig a little deeper. The more they do without legal ownership, the deeper they implicate themselves. Every unauthorized dollar they spent was building my case. Just then, another text pinged on my phone. Stern, the new kitchen is amazing. My followers are loving the reno. When are you getting the rest of your stuff out of the garage? The kids need the space for their gaming corner, Stern. I showed it to Naomi and Marcus. They're going to throw my things out, aren't they? Naomi's jaw tightened. Not if I have anything to say about it. I'm sending my brother Tom over with a truck tomorrow. He can pretend to be from a junk removal company. That night, I watched more footage. Jenna was live streaming from my kitchen. This space was a disaster before, she gushed to her followers. The previous owner had zero sense of style. But look at it now. Mike appeared behind her, his face tense. Maybe you shouldn't post so much. What if Rachel sees? Jenna laughed, that same cruel laugh from my hospital bed. Please, she's probably still crying at Naomi's. Besides, it's ours now. She can't prove anything. I snapped the laptop shut and smiled. The next morning, Tom arrived with his truck. On the cameras, I watched Jenna wave dismissively toward the garage. Take whatever you want, she said. It's all junk anyway. Perfect. Let her discard the evidence. We were already collecting justice. But it wasn't junk. It was my life. Photo albums. My grandfather's antique drafting table. The blanket my mother had sewn before she died. Tom loaded every item with care, treating my memories with more respect in 1 hour than my own family had in 5 years. Your things are safe, asterisk, he texted me. Stern, we got everything before they could throw anything out. You wouldn't believe what Jenna said, Stern. Oh, yes I would. I had spent most of my adult life believing her cruelty was just her way. That family meant tolerating the intolerable. That evening, Naomi sat with me, a glass of wine and an update. The contractors say they'll be done with the main renovations next week. Jenna is planning a huge housewarming party. All her influencer friends are invited. I scrolled through Jenna's social media. Video tours. Hashtagged captions. Raute Dream Home. Raute Totaltransformation. Raute from Frampi to Fabulous. She was using my stolen home as a stage to build her brand. Let her have the party, I said softly. Marcus looked up. Are you sure? We could move now, shut this all down before she goes public. I shook my head slowly. I want her to reach the peak of her delusion. Let everyone see what she built on a lie. Naomi smiled. For someone they think is weak, you have a pretty cold streak. I'm an engineer, I reminded her. I know how to calculate a collapse. That night, I couldn't sleep. Jenna's words from the hospital echoed. Stern, you always hold this over us, Stern, as if my generosity had been a weapon. As if I should apologize for the burden of them living in my home rent-free. And Mike, always silent, always complicit. His name was on the forged documents too. He wasn't innocent. Just a different kind of weak. My phone lit up again. Stern party is next Saturday, you should come. Might not even recognize the place, we finally brought it into the 21st century. I showed Naomi the text the next morning. She raised an eyebrow. You want to go? I smiled. Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. The next few days were a whirlwind of paperwork and legal prep. Marcus pulled the final loan documents, proving they'd taken out a loan against my property without my consent. Naomi drafted court documents, Injunctions, fraud complaints, the lawsuit. Meanwhile, I watched the circus through my hidden cameras. Jenna hired caterers, a photographer, even a florist. This is going to be my breakout moment, she told Mike in my kitchen. Finally getting out from under Rachel's shadow. Mike shifted uncomfortably. Maybe we should have just asked her to sell it legally. Jenna scoffed. Please, she never would have let it go. She loved being the one who saved us. Then she grinned. Well, guess who needs saving now? I closed my laptop, her voice still ringing. I had never tried to cast a shadow. I had only ever tried to help. That evening, Naomi brought me tea. Ready for tomorrow? I nodded. I used to think being kind made me weak, that family meant giving without boundaries. Naomi sat beside me. And now? Now, I know strength means standing up for yourself, even when it's against the people who should have been standing up for you. The day of the party dawned, clear skies, warm sun, perfect for a fall from grace of epic proportions. From Naomi's car, parked a few houses down, I watched it all unfold on the cameras. Jenna was in full glam mode, greeting influencers and live-streaming from my porch. Welcome to our completely renovated dream home, she beamed, from disaster to designer chic. Marcus checked his watch. The sheriff's team is ready, just say the word. Through the feed, I watched guests taking selfies in front of my demolished kitchen, clinking glasses under my antique beams. Naomi leaned in. They have no idea, they're recording their own downfall. I watched as Jenna raised her champagne. A toast to our new beginning. Not quite, I whispered. And gave Marcus the signal. When we first moved in with my sister-in-law, this place was so dated, Jenna beamed, raising her champagne glass to the crowd. But sometimes, life gives you unexpected opportunities. And now, total transformation. An influencer's dream. That was our cue. I pulled out my phone and sent Marcus a single word. Stern now, Stern. Within minutes, the quiet street erupted in flashing lights. Police cars and sheriff's vehicles surrounded the house. Through the hidden camera feed, I saw confusion spread through the crowd as uniformed officers entered from the front and back. Jenna Lynn, a firm voice cut through the noise. We have a warrant for your arrest on charges of fraudulent property transfer and unauthorized real estate loans. Her champagne flute slipped from her hand, shattering on the hardwood floor she'd had installed without a permit. This is ridiculous, she shrieked. This is our house, we have the papers. Forged papers, Marcus said, stepping forward, holding up a thick binder filled with faked signatures and a revoked notary stamp. At that moment, Naomi and I walked in. Heads turned. People gasped. Jenna Frotze. Hello, sister-in-law, I said calmly, surveying the party. Nice crowd. Rachel, her voice broke. What are you doing here? You can't do this. Oh, but I can, I interrupted, because this is my house. Always has been. And I have all the evidence. Every forged document, every illegal loan, every text message and recorded conversation. Mike, pale and trembling, stepped forward. We can explain. You already have, I cut him off. On camera. Every time you joked about tricking me while I was sick. It's all there. Jenna's carefully curated world was collapsing in real time. Her followers' phones were still up, still streaming. Are they being arrested? An influencer asked. Property fraud is a serious matter, Marcus replied loudly. Deed forgery, illegal loans, and unpermitted construction? Yes, they're being arrested. As the officers handcuffed Jenna and Mike, I saw the dawning horror on her face. This wasn't just an arrest. It was public. Wait, she cried. The renovations are assets. You mean my assets, I said, in my house. The cruisers pulled away as the guests began to quietly disappear. Their phones had probably already uploaded every humiliating second. Jenna's big reveal had turned into a full-blown public exposure. Naomi glanced over. You okay? I looked around at the chaos, at the remnants of a party meant to celebrate my stolen home. And for the first time in months, I was. Yes, I whispered. I really am. 6 months later, I stood in my kitchen, running my fingers over the old cabinets I had once again restored. The court had ordered Jenna and Mike to pay back every cent they'd spent on renovations. I used the money to fix the damage, but on my terms. Jenna and Mike took a plea deal. Last I heard, they'd moved to Florida. Jenna's influencer career never recovered. Every time she posted, someone would mention the live stream of her arrest. The biggest surprise? Their kids. My nieces and nephews reached out on their own, apologizing. The eldest, now in college, even came to visit. You showed me what integrity looks like, she said. One quiet morning, Naomi joined me for coffee. This place looks better than ever, she smiled. It feels better, I replied, pouring from the old coffee pot her brother had rescued from the garage. Later that day, Marcus stopped by with a grin. The last of the fraudulent loans is cleared. Your credit isn't just restored. It's better than before. Thank you, I said. Both of you. I couldn't have done this alone. Naomi laughed. You installed the cameras. You kept the records. You played the long game. You did the hard part. I looked around. The medical bills were gone. My health had stabilized. And so had something inside me. Because now I knew, family isn't about blood. It's about loyalty, truth, support, the people who built you up instead of tearing you down. I raised my coffee cup to happy endings. Not because everything is perfect, but because we earned them. Naomi and Marcus raised their cups too. In that moment, in my reclaimed home, I finally knew. This is what family really looks like. If my story resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. What would you have done in my place? What would you say to someone who has been betrayed by their family? Your voice matters, and your support reminds people like me that we are not alone. If you believe in justice, in standing up for what's right, help me spread this message. Share this video. Let's show the world that the quiet and kind have power too. To everyone.